Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Micah and today it's the start of July, so I'm doing another Shop My Stash for you. And I've got a lot of products to talk you through because let's just say that there's quite a bit I want to change out or that I'm about to run out of, so I just want to give you the full lowdown. And we're having a heat wave at the moment, at least when I'm filming this. It's just that week where it's been super warm in Europe. And so I'm also going to be showing you the products that I ended up pulling out of my makeup collection to see me through very warm days. It's also the reason why I'm not doing this intro on camera. It is another very hot, balmy day today, so I'm actually deciding that I decided this morning not to wear any makeup whatsoever. So that's why I'm just rolling with it, you could say. So let's start first with the products that I was using this past month. Let's start off with a product that was a bit of a dud for me. This is the Essence You Better Work Tinted Day Cream, and you may have seen me pulling this into my stash last month, trying to see if I like this, but this only comes in 2 shades, I believe, and it's just way too orange for me. It also broke up on me quite well, so it says gym proof and waterproof. This doesn't last, and I was only wearing this and even when it was a heat wave. So, yeah, this is just not a great product. It didn't work for me at all. So I switched to this, and this is the Bourjois Healthy Mix BB Cream. This is a really nice product, actually. I was very surprised with this. I do like the Healthy Mix foundation, like the original one that they already did. And this is a really nice lighter coverage foundation, I should say. This is not a BB cream in my book. It definitely doesn't have many skincare properties, and it is more of a makeup product than anything else. But it is a nice lightweight base for this time of year, so I was happy that I pulled this in. For concealer, I was using this, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer, and I do have to say I quite like this, but it was perhaps a little bit too heavy for my makeup tastes. I can see why they call this a sculpting concealer. I think it can be a nice product for like cream contour and highlighting, but for just concealing, I felt it was, I mean, it did a good job. It didn't crease on me. It was definitely not offensive or anything, but I definitely feel this product looks a bit makeup-y. I still haven't used up my fixing spray. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I only have the littlest amount left. I use this religiously. It's been taking quite some time to use this up. And yeah, I will be pulling in something very shortly, sometime later this week, perhaps, when this runs out. Another product that has been in here for a while is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. And there you have it. I've hit pan. You can see a bit of a waffle structure right there. So finally hit pan on this. I still have a ton of product left because there's this whole bulb here that I haven't even touched. So this is going to see me through for quite a few months. But now that it's very warm weather, I feel this doesn't do as good of a job as I need it to. So that's why I did switch my powder for the warmer days. For a highlighter, I pulled this. This is the Holo Lighter by Annabelle in the shade Pegasus. Let me give you a better look. This is a duochrome, like peachy pink. And this was really nice, but this is definitely not the kind of, like the time of year, I should say, to be using this kind of product. I have been wearing quite a lot of warm cheek products, and this pulls a bit more cool toned. So I wasn't using it a whole lot this month, but it is a very nice product indeed. The highlighter I pulled out the most is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm. This is an OG, and I'm actually surprised that I haven't hit pan on this yet. I've got quite a big dent going on in the middle, and I was loving this with some of the warmer cheek looks that I was going for this month, so this is going to stay in here. Another product that will stay, and not because I haven't made up my mind about it, but because I absolutely love it, is the Maybelline City Bronzer. People were telling me that this was a really nice bronzer from the drugstore, and I got mine in London. I just thought it was a bit dark, so I figured it would be better to try it out in the summertime. And oh boy, was I wrong. This is such a great natural bronzer. It's working really nice with a stipple brush, and I'm absolutely in love. So that's why the Maybelline City Bronzer is going to stay another month. For blush, I decided to continue to use the Benefit Coralista. I think I expanded the pan, but only a little bit. Like, I feel that I'm currently having a bit of a problem of expanding the pan too much. Also because I wasn't using this a lot. I actually wore another blush more, which surprised me, but I am going to keep it in for another month because I just want to see whether I can expand the pan as much as possible before summer ends. The blush I reached for the most, though, was this very bright, intense orange toned red from Urban Decay. This is Bang, and I really, really liked it. You do have to be very careful. You need a very, very light, wispy brush and a very light hand. All you need is a little dip, and then you have enough product to use this. But it is a stunning shade, and yeah, I was wearing it in my blush collection, my ranking blushes video, and I'm really liking it. And last but not least, for a neutral option, I was wearing this. This is the Essence Matte Touch Blush, and I found out this is a dupe for Mood Exposure by Hourglass, which is great. I've just been wearing this a ton. It's a really nice, affordable option, but I definitely I'm not in the mood for a neutral tone blush like this. I'm very much in the mood for like oranges and reds and like bright poppy shades, so this is now going to retire in my collection for a little while, but I'll definitely reach for it again in the winter. I got perfume, mascara still going strong. The brow products that keep on giving, they still haven't run out. This is the Soap and Glory Archery Brow Pencil. So one side of this is a gel, and that went bad like very quickly, but I still have that little bit much of the pencil actually left. So I will be using this up. I just don't think it will happen this month because I think I've been saying for the past 3 months that I think this will run out. It just hasn't yet. Eyeshadow Primer by Catrice. Again, a product that I feel is running quite low. Not sure how long it will last, but I've got plenty of eyeshadow primers lying about that I can just replace this with once it does, but it's gonna stay for another month. And another 2 products that are staying are my MAC Paintpot in Painterly and this, the Potty Shop eyeshadow, which I hit pan on last month, and I definitely was able to expand the pan on this one. So this will be used up in a few months' time, I'm sure. So those are the products that I was using for most of the month, but then we hit a heat wave towards the end, and we had like 100-degree weather, and at work we have no air conditioning, so I still wanted to look a little bit presentable, but I couldn't be wearing a whole lot of makeup. So I definitely reached for some other products that I pulled out of my stash that I keep precisely for very warm weather. If you saw my ranking blushes video, then you know I love these blush bronzer hybrids in the summertime, because this is just a one-stop shop. I put this on my cheeks and there's a little bit of glow, there's a little bit of color, and it warms up my face, so it does everything in threes. This is the Summer of Love Triple Baked Bronzer by I Heart Makeup, by the way. So when it's hot, I don't like to go in with a full base, but I just wear a bit of concealer. This is Maybelline's Instant Anti-Age Eraser, and this is a really nice concealer. I've talked about this before, but I hate the packaging. This is in the shade Fair, and I only have a little bit left, so I was like, hey, maybe I can use this and try and use it up while it's hot over the summertime. This is an e.l.f. kabuki that I keep around for one very particular purpose, and that is to apply this, the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in medium. So when it's really hot, I just apply a bit of concealer, and then I put this powder on top. Gives a bit of coverage, a bit of color, evens out my skin tone, and it works really, really well for that. So this is a product I always reach for when it's warm. And I don't like wearing a whole lot of eyeshadow either when it's really warm, so I just pulled in this Bare Study Paint Pot by MAC and just applied that as a bit of a wash of shimmer onto my lid, then just mascara on my top lashes, and I'm good to go. A product I've been using a lot over the weekend is the Hydrating Prime and Care Spray by Catrice. I've been putting this in my fridge, and it feels very, very nice and cooling and refreshing. So I just tend to reach for this throughout the day when I'm wearing no makeup, and then spritz it onto my face. So this has been very nice for a bit of a cooling down factor. So these are the lipsticks I wore this month. The Catrice Power Plumping Gel Lipstick is still in here. That's still my favorite, and I was wearing it on days where I wore some more colorful looks, but as you will see in a minute, I also wore some more neutral palettes that I still wanted to try out. So that's when my favorite summertime lipstick, MAC Lady Danger, came out to play. And I also did a look where I paired it with a liquid lipstick. Again, if it's warm, I love liquid lipsticks because they don't transfer or bleed. So on hot days, this works really well. This is in the shade Veronica. Let's talk eyeshadow palettes. This is Milani's Most Loved Mattes. So this is a very neutral eyeshadow palette that I was using this month. I had bought this in the Black Friday sales, but hadn't tried it yet because, to be quite honest, I thought it was a bit boring. It didn't really inspire me. I had a lot of other palettes that I had bought later than this, even, that I started putting on my eyes first. I ended up really liking the middle row and also this row onto to the left side, but the row on the right, it does just not offer me a lot of variety in this palette. So I'm not sure whether I'll keep this around in the end. I mean, the quality is great. It's just, I'm not a big fan of mattes. A brand I wanted to try this year was BH Cosmetics. I had never tried any of their products, and I decided to go with the Royal Affair palette. I bought this for around 10 or 11 euros on Beauty Bay when it was on sale. And this looked on the website like it could be a very interesting palette, mainly because it has this like chartreuse kind of green shade. And when I first got this, I was like, oh, how am I going to use it? But after I did, I decided to go with one row per look, and that works really well. So you have a cohesive look in the top row, second row, third row, fourth row. That worked really great. And I have to say that these two top rows were my favorite. This one, this third one, is really nice but very neutral, and the bottom one is just a bit too warm for my tastes. It's nice, but I do have to say I wasn't blown away with this. In the same order as my BH Cosmetics, I got this, the color Rain Queen of Hearts. This palette was so raved about a while ago, and it was always out of stock. It finally went on sale, just like the BH one, and that's when I decided to grab it. And this is what that palette looks like, and this is one of the reasons why I won't be purchasing the Natasha Denona new Sunrise palette, because I feel this has very similar tones, and I have other tones like this in other palettes. The quality of this is great. I do have to say that this matte purple at the bottom, I feel is a bit patchy when you try putting it in the crease with a fluffy brush, but overall, really nice quality. And for a warm tone palette, I wasn't too offended by it. And then, last but not least, I also finally got around to using the Festival palette by Juvia's, and oh boy, just like the Afrique last month, I figured out how to use this. I was able to use some really, really stunning looks with this. The blue is stunning on the lower lash line, and these two look almost neon on my lids, and it's amazing. So definitely fell in love with this palette a little bit. Then for some products that we are pulling in for next month, and I now realize that I forgot to mention this. This is the Catrice HD Performance Primer with SPF 30. This has been a really nice primer, but like with all the other primers in this like glass dropper bottle that Catrice does, this does run out very quickly. You can't see it right now perhaps, but I only have about a third left. And that's after a month of use. So this will probably run out in the next 2 weeks or so. Which means I can try another primer. This is the You Better Work Gym Proof Primer by Essence. And I just haven't really tried this yet. I think, again, it's a good one for the summertime. So I definitely want to make this the follow-up once the Catrice one runs out. For base, I'm going to go with something very, very expensive. This is the Chanel Les Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer. I ran out of one of my favorite foundations, which is by Chanel, their Vita Lumiere Aqua, last year, and I was looking to repurchase, but then I saw that they had launched this. I've never really tried a tinted moisturizer, and while the Bourjois BB cream was lovely, I still felt it was a little bit heavy on some days, so I definitely want to see if this is a bit more lightweight and start using this. I know it hasn't run out yet, but again, also in that You Better Work line, Essence came out with a fixing spray, which I want to use once the Makeup Revolution one is gone. And then I figured that I could pull in another bronzer, because I'm keeping the Maybelline one in there because I love it, but I was also very much taken with the Catrice Bouncy Bronzer when they released this. This is like a gel texture. It's a bit weird, and you need a stipple brush to apply this, but when you do, it looks very nice and glowy and natural, and I think it will go nicely with some of my hot weather products. For concealer, I figured that I hadn't really given this a proper go. This is the Essence Stay All Day 16-Hour Concealer. From what I've used so far, I remember liking this, but it's been more than a year since I reached for this, and I figured I hadn't reviewed this for my blog yet, so high time that I do that and give this a good whirl. So my base is going to consist of a Chanel foundation and an Essence concealer this month. The irony, right? This is the Becca Champagne Split in Prosecco Pop and Pamplemousse. And I decided to pull this after I did my ranking blushes video. This has a stunning blush and highlighter, and if there's any time of year where I can get away with wearing these kind of shades, it's July. So that's why I wanted to reach for this. And since I fell in love with that red Urban Decay blush, I decided to pull in my Hourglass Diffused Heat blush as well. This is a bit more natural looking and a bit easier to control than the Urban Decay. And since the next 2 weeks are going to be the craziest of the entire school year, I want something nice and easy that I can just pop on and don't worry about. So there you have it, all of the products that I'm shopping my stash for in the month of July. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more by me. I make new videos 3 times a week, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!